Motivation is useless without action. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. You can watch hours of motivational videos, read stacks of inspirational books, even fill your walls with posters of success quotes. But if you don't act, if you don't take real steps, then all that motivation is nothing but noise. Hello and welcome to Action Expo. If you're new here, let me quickly explain. This channel is not about dreams, hype, or empty promises. We make content that cuts through the lies of motivation and focuses on the only thing that matters: action. Because without action, nothing is possible. If you're tired of wasting time waiting for motivation to change your life, you're in the right place. Now, let's get real. Motivation feels good, but it doesn't last. You know this. You've probably felt it before. You get inspired, your energy shoots up, and for a moment you feel like you can conquer the world. But then the feeling fades. You go back to scrolling, back to procrastinating, back to making excuses, and suddenly you realize nothing has changed. That's because motivation without action is useless. Think about how many New Year's resolutions are made every January. Millions of people in the US promise themselves that this is the year. They'll lose weight, they'll start the business, they'll save money, they'll change their life. But within weeks, maybe even days, the motivation is gone. Gyms are empty again, journals are abandoned, and all those dreams fade into the background. Why? Because motivation alone has no power. Only action creates change. Let me tell you about a man I knew from Ohio. Every week he'd talk about how motivated he felt to change his life. He wanted to get fit, start a side hustle, and get out of debt. He watched motivational speakers. He shared quotes online, and he talked about what he was going to do. But that's all it ever was: talk. He never acted, and year after year nothing changed. The debt stayed, the weight stayed, the job stayed the same. His motivation was useless because he never acted on it. Now let's compare him to someone else I knew. A young woman from Texas. She wasn't motivated at all when she started. In fact, she admitted she hated the process. But she acted anyway. She got up early to work on her goals. She put in extra hours after her day job. She failed, got back up, and kept moving. And because she acted, things changed. She paid off debt, built a small business, and transformed her life. She didn't wait for motivation. She created results with action. This is the difference. Motivation makes you feel like you're moving, but action is the only thing that actually moves you. And here's the harsh truth. Life doesn't care how motivated you are. The bills don't care how inspired you feel. Your landlord doesn't care how many motivational quotes you've saved on your phone. They only care about results. And results are only built by action. That's why millions of Americans are stuck in the same cycle. They keep chasing motivation like it's the key, but motivation is like sugar. It gives you a quick rush, then it leaves you empty. Action is like protein. It builds, it strengthens, it creates lasting results. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner your life begins to change. The biggest problem with motivation is that it tricks you. Makes you feel like you've accomplished something when you haven't. You watch a motivational video, you clap for the speaker, you write down a list of goals, and suddenly you feel productive. But that feeling is an illusion. It's not progress. It's just entertainment disguised as growth. And this is exactly why so many people in the United States are stuck in the same place year after year. They consume motivation like junk food, quick, tasty, and instantly satisfying, but with zero nutritional value. It doesn't build muscle. It doesn't build wealth. It doesn't build discipline. It just gives you a temporary high before you crash back into the same old habits. I want you to think about something. When you're late on your rent or your mortgage payment, does motivation help you? No. The bank doesn't care how inspired you feel. Your landlord doesn't care if you spent the weekend getting motivated. They want the money, and money doesn't come from dreaming. It comes from acting, from working, from moving. Let me tell you about two friends from New York. Both of them wanted to start a YouTube channel. The first one spent months watching motivational creators, learning about mindset, and getting excited. He even bought equipment but kept saying, "I'll start when I feel ready." A whole year passed and he still hadn't uploaded a single video. The second friend, he wasn't even motivated. He just acted. He picked up his phone, recorded a video, and uploaded it. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't polished, but it was action. And action builds momentum. Fast forward 2 years, and the first guy still talks about his big plans. The second guy has a channel with thousands of subscribers and a steady income. Motivation did nothing. Action did everything. This is where so many Americans go wrong. They think they need to feel good before they can move. They wait for the perfect moment. But the truth is, the perfect moment never comes. If you wait until you're motivated, you'll waste your whole life waiting. The people who win, the people who change, the people who rise up in this country, they act first and let the motivation catch up later. Think about the soldier who trains every day. Do you think they wake up feeling motivated? No, they act because discipline doesn't wait for feelings. Think about the single parent working 2 jobs to keep food on the table. Do you think they're motivated every morning? No, they act because action is survival. That's the same mindset you need if you want to build a life beyond your current situation. Here's the real danger of motivation. It creates procrastination. Because when you feel motivated, you think you've already done something. You feel good, so you delay the real work. And then you wait for the next burst of motivation, and the cycle repeats. That's why so many people spend their entire lives getting ready, but never actually starting. Action, on the other hand, doesn't give you the luxury of delay. When you act, you immediately feel the weight of reality. You see your progress. You face your mistakes. You start moving forward even if it's messy. And that's why action is everything. The truth is, nobody remembers how motivated you were. Nobody cares how inspired you felt. The world only remembers what you actually did, your results, your actions, your impact. And that's the lesson most people ignore until it's too late. One of the most dangerous lies being sold in America today is that motivation will change your life. Entire industries profit off this idea. Motivational seminars, self-help books, flashy speakers charging thousands of dollars for tickets. They promise that if you just listen, if you just get inspired, everything will fall into place. But when the lights go out, when the music stops, and when the crowd goes home, you're left with the same reality. Nothing changes until you act, and that's why motivation is a business. It's a product. It's designed to make you feel good, so you'll keep buying, keep watching, keep coming back for more. But what good is motivation if you don't do anything with it? That's like eating candy and calling it a meal. It tastes sweet, but it doesn't build you. It doesn't feed you. It doesn't strengthen you. Action is the opposite. Action is uncomfortable. Action is raw. Action exposes your weaknesses. Action forces you to face rejection, failure, and doubt. That's why most people avoid it. They prefer the fantasy of motivation over the reality of action. Because motivation lets you dream about being successful, but action requires you to earn it. Let me tell you a story about 2 brothers from Florida. Both dreamed of becoming financially free. The first brother got addicted to motivation. He followed influencers, read every book, attended every seminar, and kept planning for the perfect launch of his business. The second brother wasn't motivated at all, but he started. He opened a small car detailing service out of his garage. It was messy. It was stressful. He failed a lot, but he kept going. 5 years later, the first brother was still chasing motivation. The second brother owned multiple detailing shops and was employing people in his community. The difference wasn't motivation. The difference was action. And that's the cold truth. The future doesn't belong to the dreamers, belongs to the doers. In this country, bills don't wait for your feelings. Success doesn't wait for your emotions. Life doesn't pause while you get motivated. Time keeps moving, whether you act or not. And every day you don't act, you fall behind. Think about all the people who dreamed of writing a book but never wrote a single page. Think about the people who dreamed of losing weight but never stepped into the gym. Think about the people who dreamed of starting a business but never made a single sale. Their motivation may have been sky high, but their action was zero. And zero action equals zero results. Always. Motivation might light the spark, but if you don't add wood, the fire dies. Action is the wood. Action is the fuel. Action is what keeps the fire burning when the initial excitement is gone. And if you're not willing to act, then no amount of motivation will ever save you. Here's what you need to remember. Discipline beats motivation every single time. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't need hype. Discipline shows up when motivation disappears. And discipline is built through action. Repeated, consistent, often boring action. That's why the disciplined win while the motivated fade away. So here's the truth you need to take home today. You can watch every motivational video on the internet. You can fill your room with quotes, vision boards, and positive affirmations. You can dream about the life you want every single night. But if you don't take action, you're just fooling yourself. Motivation doesn't build muscle. Motivation doesn't build businesses. Motivation doesn't pay bills. Action does. And in America, where every second counts, where opportunities pass in the blink of an eye, and where someone else is already grinding while you're still getting motivated, you can't afford to waste time on hype. Ask yourself this: do you want to be remembered as someone who always talked about what they were going to do? Or do you want to be remembered as someone who actually did it? Because history doesn't remember the dreamers, it remembers the doers. Think about the people you admire. The athletes, the entrepreneurs, the innovators. They didn't stop because they lost motivation. They succeeded because they acted, even when they didn't feel like it. They worked in silence, they built piece by piece, and they proved that consistent action beats short bursts of hype every single time. So the next time you feel that rush of motivation, don't waste it by scrolling. Don't waste it by dreaming. Don't waste it by talking. Use it as fuel to act right now. Write the page. Make the call. Start the workout. Launch the idea. Take the step. Because the difference between where you are and where you want to be is not motivation. It's action. And let me leave you with this. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll never start. If you wait until you're motivated, you'll never finish. The clock is ticking. Life isn't slowing down for you. So stop waiting. Stop dreaming. Stop lying to yourself. Do it. Act now. Because motivation is nothing. Action is everything.